Welcome to the channel, guys. We are back again, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 signature fragrances for my channel, so stay tuned for that. If you like top 10 lists, fragrance reviews, clone comparisons, and first impressions, hit that subscribe button for more great content. So I saw this video idea from somebody else. I thought it was a really cool idea. Thought I would do the video. I made it a top 10. I think it was originally a top 5, but I decided to do 10 fragrances. And essentially these are 10 fragrances that I talk about, reasonably frequently on my channel. And there's suggestions or recommendations that I think I make that, a lot of them are fragrances that I like to talk about a lot. A lot of them, or all of them, have been talked about on other people's channel at some point in time, pretty much. But I think some of them, I definitely talk about them a lot more than other people. The bottom 5, well, some of the bottom 5 anyways, are ranked a little lower because I do know that some other channels really talk about them a lot. But the top 5, I think, are 5 that I talk about a lot more than anybody else. So without further ado, let's get into the list. Number 10 position. This is one I love and could be ranked higher, but like I said, I ranked it at 10 because this is one I know a lot of other people talk about and love. I know Chris from Fragmental and Chris from Casual Fragrances both love this one, so do I, and that is Creed Viking. This is one I've often referred to as something that would be my signature scent. If I had one, this is a nice, really modern take on a barbershop fragrance. It's not like super groundbreaking or anything like that, but I would agree with Chris, at least from Casual Fragrances. I know he said this, that this is the best Creed. This is my favorite Creed fragrance. I've tried a good number of them, and I still think that this is the best one. The only one that competes with this one to me is Orolfa. But anyways, nice, spicy, cooling mint in there with the spice, a little bit of that pink pepper. Does come off a little bit watery in the opening, very fresh, refreshing. Has a nice sort of rose in the background that comes a little bit more present in the mid and dry down, and just manages to be a really nice, refreshing, masculine fragrance that I think you can easily wear all year round. Probably not the very best for the super high heat, but otherwise a fantastic, amazing fragrance. So if you do like those kind of barbershop fragrances, you want something like a modern take on it, give that one a shot. Next one, I talk about it a lot because I have it. I think one of the reasons it doesn't get as much talk is because it is kind of hard to get, and that, of course, is Italica by Xerjoff. A lot of people say this is, the number one or the best gourmand fragrance of all time, and it is really a gourmand through and through, and I think it could easily be in the top 10 for gourmand fragrances. Very nice, beautiful, dry almond that turns into this really nice, milky, creamy almond biscuit kind of a vibe. Very, very good. Performance, stellar, long-lasting, very luxurious, has that nice sensual touch. So I do really enjoy that one as well. The next one, this one actually, I don't think a lot of people have talked about this one. I did originally see this on Steven's channel, Redolessence, but I know it's been on a few other people's channel. I know I've talked about it a decent amount. Not sure how much other people have, but that's Saddle. And this is from Svensk Parfums, and they are I believe it's a Swedish brand. They do actually have a lot of good fragrances. This is the only one of theirs that I own. But this is a really nice leather fragrance. So if you like leather, and if you like sweet leather, but you want something that sort of stays away from being that raspberry leather that a lot of fragrances are very well known for, Tuscan leather, of course, being one of them. This is a great one to try, and it's butterscotch and leather. I think especially this one has definitely, like when I first got this one, super strong on the butterscotch, leather sitting a little bit more in the background. As this one's matured, I feel like the leather's a little bit more prominent when I wear it. It still takes a backseat to the butterscotch, but it does have this really nice, luxurious, high quality leather that's just a little bit more in the forefront than when I first got this bottle. So sometimes I do find profiles change a little bit over time, and this is one that has definitely also changed for the better. Liked it to begin with, like it a lot more now just because the leather is a little bit more there. But very good, love that one. And like I said, if you're trying to find a sweet leather fragrance that's a little bit different, it's a great choice. Now the next one, of course, has been talked about by a lot of people because price value is amazing. It is a really good fragrance if you like vetiver, and this is one that I have talked about quite a bit, and that's Encre Noire, specifically for me, the Sport. So to me, this is the best one. This is the best, easiest to wear one. If you want something really dark and earthy, soily, get the L'Extreme. And if you know don't want it quite that extreme, the regular. But this one is really nice because it has this really nice. It still has that sort of inky vetiver kind of vibe that is a little bit darker, and it kind of transitions into this really nice sort of marshy vibe, which I really like when vetiver has that. It kind of comes off almost a little bit aquatic. There are, I believe, some aquatic notes in this, so it is a little bit fresher, a little bit lighter. And as it transitions into a nice, soapy vetiver once it's approaching the end of the fragrance. But it does have a really nice vetiver, dry vetiver in the opening. So it really does give you a good dimension. I did a comparison with this one with Sultan Vetiver. Of course, Sultan Vetiver did win. It would be crazy if it didn't, but in all honesty, it does certainly hold its own against a fragrance like Sultan Vetiver as a really good vetiver fragrance. And the price point is amazing. I think I paid $25 for 100 ml. So, and it is definitely moving into that season where it's great to wear. So looking forward to this one as well. Now, the next one, I think it's definitely been talked about. I think its brother gets a little bit more attention, but I do love this one. This is by Kilian Single Malt. The brother being Apple Brandy. I'm not sure if it's just because this one can be a little bit hard to get in North America. I'm sure that's one reason why, it's talked about a little bit less, but I prefer this one over Apple Brandy personally. It does have this really nice plum note, and it does come across slightly smoky woody in the background, and very boozy, a lot like a rye whiskey. But that nice woodiness with a slight hint of smokiness does give the impression of like an oak barrel or cask that the whiskey has been sitting in. Now, it is supposed to be like a single malt, more like a Scotch whiskey, but I do definitely get more of a rye whiskey from this one. Absolutely fantastic fragrance. Performance is very nice. This one is not absolute beast mode, but to me it's right in the middle. It's a medium fragrance in the sense that with respect to projection, it's not overpowering, and it's not one that's going to literally drown everyone's senses in this fragrance, so you can spray a little bit more, and at least for me and the way I find it performs off my skin, still is nice enough in the air that it's not too overly thick. Great for fall, can easily be worn in winter as well. Maybe spring in the evening, but since the type of fragrance it is, definitely wouldn't be so great in the heat. Now, next one, we're in the top 5. Top 5, like I said, I think these are ones that are more iconic for my channel as I talk about them a lot. And so yeah, let's just get into the top 5. Now, the number 5 position is one fragrance, but really it's a lot about a whole brand. Voodoo by Parfums. Now, this one does remind me a little bit of, somebody else did a review on this and they mentioned that it reminded them a little bit of Terre d'Hermès, and I can kind of see that, especially the Autre Fresh. This is grapefruit and vetiver, basically. A nice bitter, sort of tart grapefruit. And this is one that I really, really enjoy. And I heard it goes really well, I think, with almond musk, so I should try that out. But I was going to mention, I do talk about Genre, the brand, a lot on my channel. I do really like them as a clone house. They have a lot of originals. This is one of their originals that are really, really great. The value is fantastic. The only thing that's, difficult about the brand is it can be a little hard to order. You have to do it when Devon is available to take orders, which happens once a month or sometimes less. So that's a little bit difficult. But he does work 2 jobs, so you got to kind of understand. And like I said, it's worth the wait for me. There's a lot of really great fragrances. But Voodoo, really, really nice vetiver fragrance if you like vetiver. Also really love Apples and Aces, one of their best, or in my opinion now, their best original. A lot of really great clones too that I could go on length about, but I won't talk about them too much. But Genre Parfums, Voodoo is, of course, one of the ones I absolutely love. Now the next one, I almost put a different one, but this one I just recently got, so I wanted to include it. So I haven't talked about it a ton, but you're definitely going to hear about it a little bit more. That's Chanel Allure Homme Sport Cologne. So if you do watch the channel, you know that I like Allure Homme Sport more than the Eau Extreme. I like this one even more. Now, the one that I was thinking of putting instead of this one is Terre d'Hermès Autre Fresh, which I know, again, a lot of people do love. I think maybe it's a little bit of an older fragrance, so, less people are talking about it now, but I do still love that one. I still talk about that one a lot. But I decided to put this one because this is such a nice, refreshing fragrance. Lemon, orange, neroli, the 3 key notes that you really get in this one. Really nice, refreshing. Sometimes comes across a little bit like lemonade. Performance on this one, not very bad. For this type of fresh fragrance, it's about 6 hours. And so that I think that's really good for what it is, a very citrus, bright, uplifting, fresh fragrance. It has a little bit of that zesty orange, nice lemon, and a great neroli. So if you do like those three fragrances, or those three fragrance notes, definitely a good one to try. If you like Eau Très Fresh, you want something a little bit different, and it doesn't smell just like Eau Très Fresh, but to me it's very much in a similar kind of vein as that fragrance. If you do like that one, you'll probably enjoy this one as well. But man, love this one, and the weather is definitely starting to warm up, so this is going to be a absolute gem for the weather. Now, top three. This next one of my favorite gourmands. Very thick, very luxurious, beautiful apple pie fragrance. Probably the best apple pie fragrance. That's Rosé All Day by Galloway Fragrances. Very, very luxurious. Has an apple crisp note that's very thick. Has sort of this kind of apple cinnamony kind of vibe going on. Really does come across very luxurious, very thick, very sweet. There's plum in this one as well, which I definitely get a lot in the opening. That plum really adds a nice dimension, but truly gives it a little bit of depth, especially as it moves into the dry down. But great character on this one, absolutely fantastic fragrance. Really, really enjoy that one. And if you like gourmands, you should check that one out. Now, number 2 spot. This isn't my favorite from the brand, but it is one that I think I talk about a lot. And some other people have talked about it recently, but it's one that I think I've talked about a lot more than other people. And it is one that's forgotten a lot. So that's Galloway by Parfums de Marly. I would probably go between Ouajon and Sedley for my favorite. But I know, for example, Jeremy talks about Sedley a lot. He loves that one. So that's one reason why I didn't pick it. Just again, because, less of a signature for my channel. Whereas Galloway, a little bit more of a signature. This one has a nice, clean, musky, peppery fragrance. Has a nice citrusy opening. The citrus, the bergamot, does last quite a while. It gets really, really juicy bergamot right on the opening. Not zesty, not tart, but really nice citrus there. It does tone down with the citrus, but the citrus does last a few hours. It does give me a little bit of an impression sometimes of clean water, which is really nice. Contrast things like Aqua de Joe, which I think is more of like a saltwater breeze kind of vibe. Whereas this one is a little bit more like a really nice clean river water. Musky iris, I don't get that powdery kind of vibe, but it does just smell very, very clean, and that pepper just adds a little bit of a kick to it, a little bit of a punch. So do really like this one. And performance fantastic, 8+ hours for this kind of clean, fresh fragrance. Great for spring, summer, good one to check out. And I think you can get a really, really good price on these, especially, I got a tester here, I think it was $115 for 125 ml that has great performance. If you do like the smell, the scent profile of this one, totally price value proposition to me is off the charts, really, really good. And the top one, again, kind of a brand, but also a particular fragrance. I know this one has been talked about, certainly. I know some of their other ones get a little bit more talk, and that is Blackmail by Kerosene. I know some of the ones that have talked about a lot, or get talked about, Unknown Pleasures, and also Follow being regarded often as the best coffee fragrance, which I think it definitely is in contention for that. Unknown Pleasures are really, really great gourmand. This one, I love this one as a smoky, woody, sweet fragrance. So smoky, even just like as soon as I took the cap off, you get this like big hit of incense, very, very strong. And it comes off very, very smoky, but it has this nice sweetness, dried fruit vibe going for it. It does have a little bit of a woodiness, which is supposed to be oud. I doubt that it's real oud. It could well be. But it does come across a little bit like the oud to me that's in oud wood. It's not spicy, but if you just think about the oud smell that's in that one, reminds me of the oud in this. Again, they very, very different fragrances, but just to give you an idea of what the woodiness is like in this one. This one is beast mode, looking at 8 to 10 hours. Really, really nice, really unique. Great one for the winter especially. And this is probably one of my favorites from the house. I do really like Black Vines as well, which is one that I don't think anybody really talks about. Sweetly Known is a new one that they came out with, which I also think is actually really, really well done. And that one is ridiculously long lasting, like pushing 15 hours. Crazy long lasting. Kerosene though, I think they have a great price value proposition. If you find fragrances that you like, 150 ml for $140. I think that's great for a niche fragrance. Personally, I think that's a really, really great price value. I do actually like the bottles. It's simple design, but to me it works really, really well. And if you like sort of smoky, woody fragrances, especially with a touch of sweetness, Blackmail is one to try for sure. You will probably love it if that's a profile you like. Anyways, guys, I don't know if there's any fragrances that you think about or when you hear about, you expect them to be on my channel, or you think that, or I've talked about them a lot, or maybe fragrances that I've just got you to sample, and so, you know, I sort of had that influence on you, I guess. Leave a comment down below with any of those fragrances, or just some fragrances that you personally absolutely love and might be a signature for you that other people, when they smell them, they think of you. Anyways, guys, that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, see you guys in the next video.